Hey you, want to start your own podcast? Want to gain thousands of listeners? Anchor is the easiest way to make your own podcast. Anchor also gives you everything you need in one place for free. You heard me, for free, which you can use from your very own smartphone or PC device. Tokyo 5 and myself have been using Anchor for a while now, and we love it. You can easily make money from your own podcast with no minimum listenership. And while you're at it, be sure to check out our podcast, Vendettas 5ivecast, for all your gaming news, updates, and more. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Everybody, welcome to Vendettas 5ivecast. I'm Citizen B, here with my co-host Tokyo 5.
Greetings, world.
And welcome to our very first episode. We want to give a love and thanks to anyone out who's tuning in right now. And we appreciate your company, especially in these critical times. Speaking of critical times, 5, what's been going on in today's news?
Well, during a conference call today in the sports world, or yesterday, with most of the major sports leagues, Trump mentioned that the NFL should start on time in September. But who knows how long this COVID-19 pandemic will last. The Final Four was supposed to start yesterday night. The Masters was supposed to begin last Thursday. And in 2 weeks, we were supposed to get some NBA playoffs. Trump mentioned that our nation wasn't designed for this when it comes to our sports. Are we seeing a paradigm in where our world may be without sports for a little while?
It's looking like that. I mean, if anything, I don't think anyone's seeing any of this coming. Well, except for people who knew beforehand about the virus, but we didn't. Even then, I doubt they thought it was going to be this big.
Well, again, Trump did come out in a conference call yesterday with major sports leagues, most of them. And he did come out and say the NFL should stay on course. Now, does it sound like Trump's kind of pushing the NFL to stay on course regardless of what may happen in the coming months? Or should the NFL take its own actions?
I mean, it's the ball's in their hand. I mean, if Donald Trump thinks that the pandemic will be resolved by the time we get by the time the actual NFL season starts, back in September, then hey, why not? I mean, if, like I said, it's on both parties. If Roger Goodell believes that they might need to wait a little bit more, then hey, it's up to him. But if not, then he'll give the okay. Say we can start football again. But like I said, Trump's feeling positive that that this COVID-19 thing is going to pass over, and we should be ready for sports by this fall.
Well, hopefully. In speaking of football news, Colts owner Jim Irsay has obtained more than 10,000 N95 masks that he plans to have distributed to the medical people in Indianapolis. So that's good to hear that he's supporting his the people in the medical field. They get our biggest thanks more than anybody, doing what they do every day, having to be around all those victims.
Yeah.
We can only just pray that, they can stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure that they don't spread the virus once they leave the hospitals. That's probably what the scary part about it all is. Well,
yeah.
Staying on topic of sports, last night was day one of WrestleMania 36. I heard it was like watching a cinematic wrestling movie with matches. And of course, the biggest match of the night was The Undertaker and AJ Styles Boneyard match. What do you think about that, bro?
For what I've seen, in the highlights and some of the reviews, uh, they said it was a great spectacle. But then again, it's what you expect out of AJ Styles, especially a veteran, a legend like Undertaker. And again, a lot of people didn't think he had it anymore to put any good matches, but I guess they actually was able to do something for him, and they was able to come up with something that worked around and make show that he still has a match or so in him left despite his old age, and it shows why he's a legend in the business, because he is able to do something as spectacular as that match. And having someone like AJ Styles, who's already iconic in the wrestling business, it just solidified it even more. Just made those two definitely were the right people to do that type to that type of match. To make it even with
Yeah.
no no actual audience, and
Not
the whole epidemic and going on right now.
right. That's the
They
crazy
was
part
able,
about it.
yeah, they was
Was
able to make something that great that
it was
because
like watching a
the first
movie.
time, yeah, this is the first time that WrestleMania has been like this, and so they had props to the creative team for coming up, and AJ Styles and Undertaker, Gallows and Anderson, who all was ever involved with making that boneyard match, because they really did. They worked with what they had to
Right.
make it very memorable. Because trust
Right.
me, this is going to be the most memorable one of the most memorable WrestleManias. A WrestleMania with empty seats, because it happened during the quarantine, where everybody was quarantined and shit, stuff like that. And
Prayers go out to the wrestlers and all the people and staff in WWE. Of course, tonight is also the second night of WrestleMania 36.
yes,
Pretty sure it's probably going to start either now or within an hour. So it should be a fun night. I heard a lot of good reviews. A lot of people liked it. They thought it was interesting, the whole cinematic view of it. So, that's pretty cool to still bring somewhat of a entertainment of the wrestling world to the fans.
yeah.
In other news, legendary ex Saints kicker Tom Dempsey dies from coronavirus.
Uh,
This
Man.
thing seems to affect a lot of the older generation, as what I hear. 65 and up are more vulnerable. Anybody who has any immune deficiencies are vulnerable. Anybody who has asthmatic problems are vulnerable. This is really affecting like everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. Well, we have some, you know, bunch of mock drafts for the NFL. Of course, we know the NFL uh, draft is coming up in a couple weeks. From my understanding, the draft won't be held in Vegas like it was supposed to due to COVID-19.
Yeah,
It's probably the smartest thing to do.
yeah,
Most of
definitely.
the teams, most of the teams will be releasing their picks from their own cities within their own stadium offices and everything, which is that's keeping it safe. I like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be interesting to watch how they're gonna do it this year. To see how they do it and see how the reactions stuff.
yep.
Pretty, trying to.
No,
I wonder if they're gonna do it by streaming or by some type, or they're gonna use some Skype or something. How they're gonna do it? How they're gonna broadcast it to the world?
That's going to be a very interesting question because a lot of cities, most of them, actually, all of them probably have their own draft parties at the stadiums.
Mm,
That's probably not going to happen either.
yep.
So you're going to have a lot of fans, probably just everybody watching this from home. Even the players being drafted are going to be home. You
Yep.
won't have the whole glitz and glamour of the first night